Okay, do you guys have the confirmation for recording?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm glad to have you guys here tonight. Today, we're going to be giving a long-awaited update for our XChainZ project. I am Colin Thompson, joined with Doctors Larry Davis and Dr. Damon Bryant, and they'll be giving updates as well. We first want to start briefly and just give some background as to where we were at the end of 2021 and what our plans are for 2022. So jumping right in, 2021, we had a very, I'm going to say, interesting year. We started out the first quarter very proactive on doing a couple of things. We really wanted to increase our community members. So we had, I want to say, a number of different activities. The first one was to do a token drop, where we look to really incentivize and find ways for more people to really procure our coin. And it worked. We did have an increase in our community members, not a large increase, but we did have an overall increase, which is very, very positive. The other thing we did is we put special ads in certain places to tell people more about the XChainZ project. What are we doing? What is our educational platform all about? We had mild feedback from that, and we learned very quickly that we want to really put our focus primarily on the clients we have and getting more clients. So mid-year, you may have noticed we made a pivot. And that pivot was less trying to build a community and more trying to, first of all, take good care of the customers that we do have and really looking at how can we get more customers. So we had 3 great clients last year, and 2 are still with us to this very day. We had one organization, Catholic Charities, and we helped them really help take their employees through a round of assessments. We also had TechSpark, and Larry will talk more on TechSpark in a few minutes, but TechSpark was very interesting because with TechSpark, they were actually using our assessments and using our backend, our infrastructure as well. So a major thing for TechSpark, and that contract and project is only growing. And then third, we have Madison Square Garden, the home of the NBA's New York Knicks. This is an ongoing contract, and it's very important that we really make sure we satisfy this client. As you know, this client is really what's keeping some of these lights on. So we really wanted to focus on making sure each person taking the assessment had a great experience. We also want to make sure that we can build more customers. So that was our focus for 2021. I want to say, with the resources we have, we did an okay job. I think you guys know now that all of us have our own full-time jobs or our full-time companies. So this is the work we're doing that's really, I don't want to say part-time, but we're doing it as we can, which leads to the quite frankly, the slowness in our progress. But one thing is, we are making progress. If we look at year on year, we increased our client base by more than 50% last year, which was great. And we look to do that again this year. So I'm now going to hand it off to Dr. Davis. And after we go through and give updates in certain areas, we will then go through and answer the questions that you guys have submitted. So Dr. Davis, please jump in, and he's going to speak more first on wallet functionality and give an overall update on the platform.
Very good. Thank you, Colin, and hello, everyone. So I've got 4 areas that I'll be discussing. I'll start with the online wallet, then I'll go to platform updates, then our learning platform progress, and then I'll go ahead and round it out with overall strategy and how we're pivoting towards our strengths. So first of all, the online wallet. It doesn't have any withdrawal functionality right now. The issue is that there's no withdraw button. What that means is that if you have XCZ in our online wallet, you can't click a button and move it to your cold wallet. So there is a workaround where you can send XCZ to another online wallet. If you wanted to do that, you could, once you logged in on our online wallet, do your 2-factor authentication, click XPay. You'll see a form where you can send XCZ to another online wallet address. Now, we understand that this is not satisfying, and we're working to fix the withdrawal. So our process to fix it is, first of all, we're committing to an April 3rd deadline of posting, making a post of how the wallet is operating. So it's sort of like in programming terms, it would be a flow chart of how that operation is being commenced. And then we'll be posting a weekly message on our Telegram about what's the progress on the fix until it gets completed. So you're probably asking, why does it take more than 2 weeks to add a button? Well, the platform is currently designed for wallet and assessment functionality to be interconnected. So when we change wallet functionality, it means that we deal with ramifications to our assessments, okay? And then my next area to talk about is our progress on our platform. So how are we updating it? As I mentioned earlier, those two code bases are intertwined. Well, what we want to do is we want to separate them. We want our assessments to run independently from the wallets. And that is our next major effort of development. And why we're doing that is so we can better serve the community and also serve our customers, but not having to have, let's say, dependency that slows us down in either of those areas. So once we're taking care of that, doing that separation, we'll be moving on to making sure that our backend gets a lot stronger and a lot more robust. So those are our platform updates, a summary of our platform updates right now. So next is talking about our learning platform progress. We have a new LMS that we have fielded. It's not available for public consumption yet, but as soon as that is available for public viewing, we will make sure and put the link out for that. But we're very excited about having the LMS capability that's there. We are also about halfway through our progress of making our blockchain credentials. And that is something that's very exciting to us, where we're going to be able to, when someone finishes an assessment or finishes part of these modules that we have on our learning management system, they'll be able to receive a digital credential that's fully blockchain backed, which allows those users to now control the distribution of the information that's there. So we're definitely excited about that, and we look forward to putting out an announcement when we do that. Finally, about our work that we're doing on the back end, right? What we want to mention for that is that we know that our strength as a company tends to be along the lines of back-end development. So our back-end technology, our algorithms are very strong. And so we're going to work very heavily on making sure that we have API access available for our customers. So what does that mean for us as a company? It means that we're going to have components which are reusable and separable, so that we don't have to focus more on, like we're doing right now with the wallet, where we have to disentangle functionality, but rather put modules where they belong and where they're going to make the best use for us. So those are my updates right now. So Colin, I'll pass it back to you.
Yeah, so Dr. Davis, thank you for the update. And one thing I wanted to add on, we were able to bring on a part-time developer towards the end of 2021. And that developer really helped Larry, helped Larry to really add some, I would say some more ability, functionality to the platform. So we're thankful for that. And that was funded by our contract with the Madison Square Gardens. And I call that out because we're going to talk about our plans for 2022 and how we plan to use the revenue that we do bring in. We're being very focused on how we do this. So again, last year we started out focusing more on how to build a community, then focus on the customer, and towards the end, really making sure that the customer experience, how they are able to use, and whether a platform is easy to use and meeting their needs. And I think we did a very good job. And we're again looking to shift for 2022, and I'll speak on that in a moment. One thing to add also, I forgot to mention that XCZ is still available on CoinsBit and FinXbox. We know we started the year with 4. We're down, not the year, but last year with 4. We're now down to 2. And as we talk about going forward, our plans to increase not just the value of XCZ, but awareness. We'll talk about how we look to get on more valuable exchanges. We have offers all the time to join exchanges, but some of these add no value except saying that you're there. We want to avoid that and make sure that we're going on exchanges that bring value to our customers and will ultimately help bring value to what we're doing here as an organization. So I'm going to pass over to Dr. David Bryant. And I first want to say, because a lot of you guys have asked the questions throughout this year, a lot of last year, first of all, not how is Dr. Bryant? Is Dr. Bryant still part of the project? Okay, so here he is, you can see him, right? And then you'll ask, how is he doing, right? And he's doing good, and he'll share with you how he's doing. So Dr. Bryant, or Damon, as we all call him, Damon will talk more about the coin token conversion that a lot of you have been asking about also. So Dr. Bryant, I'll pass it over to you.
All right, definitely. Thank you for that warm introduction. For the most part, in going over the token swap or coin conversion, I would like to emphasize that there are three areas that we'd like to ensure that the token or tokens to which we do switch, we are able to meet several benchmarks. One is along the area of having standards. As you know, we have a Masternode coin now, which is a fungible token, but yet we would like to be able to move to a standard where we can convert and be able to appropriately use the fungible token along with the non-fungible credential. So that is within the non-fungible token. So with both a fungible token and a non-fungible token, we need to have standards to accommodate both those two types of tokens. So we are, and for the most part, it's pretty much decided on. We will use a ERC20 standard for the fungible token, and we will use an ERC 1155 for a non-fungible token. So, but now one of the main questions is um, what platform will the XCZ token rest on? Will it be Ethereum? Will it be Binance Smart Chain? Or will it be one of the other Ethereum compatible chains? For the most part, it's still an investigation process, and we will let you know what chain we decide. So we do have to consider that Ethereum is moving to Ethereum 2.0, and as a result, it's moving from proof of work to proof of stake. And as a consequence, the transactions should increase. At the same time, the cost of the transaction should be substantially reduced. So that's another thing that we're considering. So for the most part, we definitely want to be able to consider the standards, which is the first thing. So ERC20, ERC 1155. The second thing we want to consider is the wallet. So we definitely would like to have a wallet that's easy to use and it's widespread. At the same time, we would like to be able to transfer if it's on a web device, such as MetaMask web wallet. We would like to be able to transfer to a cold storage device, such as a Ledger Nano. So it's the case we would need to be able to consider a token that's able to fit on a hard wallet. So that's one of the primary considerations that we are thinking about as well, being able to send the token to a hard wallet that currently exists. Last but not least, the third thing that we have top of mind is the security of the wallet. Before we roll out the contracts for the ERC20 and 1155, there will be a security audit to ensure that the contract is one that can't easily be hacked. Also, there would need to be some education around the use of the wallet and how to secure your funds. So definitely the three areas that I talked about before, definitely having some standards put in place, which are widely used, ERC20, 1155, and also that the wallet is widespread and already easy to use, such as the MetaMask wallet, and you're able to send your tokens from the MetaMask wallet to a cold wallet, such as Ledger Nano. And the third one is we would like to ensure that we have security in place. So we will, before the contracts are rolled out, we will have an organization do an external audit to make sure everything is in place. So for the most part, that's all covering for the token swap and the economics of the coin.
Damon,
Back-
thank you yeah, thank you for that update. And let me just say to everybody, we're glad to have you here, right? If you guys have watched Damon and his webinars a couple of years ago, it's the same guy, right? So hopefully now you'll get the idea that the team is still together. And with everything we're talking about, guys, it may not seem like we're making progress or have plans, but we do have plans and we are making progress. So right now, one key question is, what is our set of milestones or key activities for 2022? Well, you heard a couple of these already. Larry talked about how what is a priority for him is really being able to give you guys full functionality of that online wallet. So that's something he's working on and focused on. Damon also talked about how we're looking to really make sure that we find the best method to do this coin token conversion. So these are two primary activities that we'll be mapping out over the next few weeks to make sure you guys are able to tell and help track us to keep us honest about progress. The third area, and this is what we're really focusing on this year, is making sure that we're able to do two things: attract new clients, one, and take care of our clients. So this year, we are going to be continuing with Madison Square Gardens, and the work we do for them really takes place once per year. Due to COVID, it was delayed this year, but this January of this year will be the NBA draft. And right around that time period is when we really June this year, excuse me, not January, June this year will be the NBA draft. And that's when we really get more involved behind the scenes. So a major part of the revenue that comes in is going to be used for marketing. And you can call it marketing or client acquisitions. We're really going to be focusing in on getting more clients. You know, the question of how do we increase the value of XCZ? Well, we need to really get more clients get more clients into our ecosystem. So our token is being used in our ecosystem. That helps us to, one, bring more value to the token and bring more value to the company. So a big focus is really the client experience enhancement and new client acquisition. And as I mentioned, in a few weeks, we'll have a roadmap on our website. If you go to our website now, you'll see there is no roadmap. That was an old roadmap. We will have that updated in a few weeks, and you'll then be able to see some of our key milestones, not just for the year, but for the upcoming months and quarters. And of course, you're going to keep us honest in the community. So that's high level our roadmap for 2022. Those three key activities. So now go into the Q&A portion. I know some of you did send in some questions, and I'm going to go to my list here. Yes, and I'm going to start with and Dr. Davis, you have that. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, so let me start with the first question. And again, thank you guys for submitting these questions. The first question is, will you be publishing a detailed roadmap? Well, yes, we will be publishing a high-level roadmap. And again, we'll have that out in the next few weeks, and we'll share that once it's ready. We'll share that link in the community. You mentioned a coin token conversion. What is that all about? Damon really wants to give you guys the background of that conversion. If we are indeed doing yet another conversion, what will the swap ratio be? Damon, you want to address that one?
Yeah, so right now, it will start out for the time period, which will be specified. We'll start out with a coin conversion of 1-to-1 token swap, as usual, but yet after a certain period of time at which will be determined, that will be reduced. So it will be a 2-to-1, then 3-to-1, until we decide to cut off the swap period.
Right.
So
And that's
initially,
primarily. Go ahead, Damon. Go ahead.
so initially start out it's 1-to-1.
Right. And that's initially because we want to try to motivate people to really take part in the conversion. If you guys remember, we did one of these, well, not a conversion, but a swap a few years ago, and it drug on for a long time, and some folks got left behind. So we want to make sure that more people are aware, and we're doing this, within 1 second here. We're doing this within the time slot that we have planned for this.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question here is, who are your current clients and partners? Dr. Davis, you want to take this one?
Sure, I'll take this one. So we have clients in assessment and platform work right now. So our corporate customers are there. In 2021, we completed assessment work for Catholic charities. So this is associated directly with the Catholic Church when we think, Pope in Rome with those folks. So they have offices in major cities around the world. So this was with their Fort Worth, Dallas Fort Worth affiliate that's here. So we completed that assessment work successfully, and they had a good experience with us. Our current customers are Madison Square Garden, the New York Knicks, and TechSpark Canada. TechSpark Canada is an education technology company, and they're focused on improving outcomes for students within communities of color. And they are in the process of building an initial product for serving that market. They've got a lot of traction and a lot of momentum right now. It's going to be focused in the middle school areas. And what they're going to be doing is they're going to be using AI, culturally relevant educational materials and assessments for pushing those boundaries and improving those outcomes within those communities. We have a long-term relationship with them, and we're looking at growing our business with them as they grow into their areas.
Okay.
Now, question number 5, I think that was also for me, Colin. Should I go ahead and take that one, please?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So 5th question was, how many people are actively working on development? Who are they? Will you be hiring more developers? Okay. There is no one who is working full-time on development. I think Colin mentioned this at the beginning, where right now, we're working on this as we can. We each have full-time efforts outside of the company. Damon and I are the only 2 people who are actively working on development, and again, we're doing it as we can. We have hired some contractors that have performed development work on our assessment platform, and we were prioritizing those areas because that's where our revenue is right now. And basically, if we don't have that revenue, we can't even do what we're doing right now. We don't have budget for more developers until we bring in more business. So that's why our focus has to be on that assessment work. But we do understand that we are a coin community, right? And we certainly want to do what we can in supporting both of those efforts. But I think that answers question number 5.
Yes, it does. And okay, we're going to jump back to one question on the conversion. Will this conversion be moving away from a mass node model and towards a smart contract staking yield like other projects? Damon, I think this one's in your list.
On that, as I emphasized earlier, we will be moving from a masternode coin to a token. So it's a case that token will be governed by a standard. So for this fungible token, that is like the coin that we currently have and exists, it will be in ERC20. So it's the case that we will be governed by a set of standards, and that one is the ERC20 token. So we will rest on a larger coin platform such as Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Bryant. Thank you, Damon.
Sure.
And the next question we have here, I love this one. How do you guys expect to grow the business? So as we mentioned before, right now, I would say 99.9% of our revenue in 2021 was from our assessment side of the platform. So we are going more heavily and staying with our focus on assessments. We think that this is where we have more of an opportunity, because if you think about our platform, we have a platform that is under development, a platform that's ready. The assessment side is ready, so it makes more sense now while we're slowly building up the other modules to focus our resources on the business. Now, one part of this is how do we build the business? And for that, we need to really bring on somebody and get some professional assistance through marketing and understanding better where is the market, what is the market. So that will take place once, quite frankly, we have more funds available. And right now, our next gate to get funds is in June after the NBA draft. So one of the major things we're doing is looking at how can we really optimize the funds we have to really grow the business through new client acquisition. So you'll notice we talk about that from now through until we actually get these new clients, because it's very important for us to really understand what the clients in the market needs, be responsive, and get those clients. So that's how we plan to grow the business. How will we increase the value of XCZ? Well, one of the first things we need to do is really increase the number of owners. And a great way to do that is to really, once again, have better placed coin drops, have better placed articles. And more importantly, we want to now try to get our customer and client base into our community and build it organically. And the reason is we know that the best advocates we can have for our assessment business are our clients. And if we can have more clients and customers in our community, that's how you grow. That's how you grow and how you have that not just the growth, but you have people who stay in there, believe in the project, and really, really are I would say, putting good energy out there into the XCZ environment. So again, trying to really look at how we can gain more clients and have those clients be part of our community. And speaking of the community, can you guys make a commitment to the community for better, more frequent communication? Absolutely, absolutely we can. And let me first thank the Jim, the Jim and Den. They play two very strong roles. I think the Jim does a great job answering a lot of questions within our communities. He does that within Keybase, within Telegram. So Jim, thank you for there. And you guys might not know this, but the Den is the one who really helped set up all those different groups based on language. So we owe her a great thanks there. And Den is the one who holds us accountable. I don't think a week or two goes by and we don't get a message from her telling us what we need to do, what we're not doing, what we should be doing, right? And we appreciate that. We appreciate that because quite frankly, we need to hear from the community. So yes, we will be working closer. One of the things that we've been discussing is really getting some more community support through what I would say, not just admins, right? Not just admins, but focals. We need a focal who's going to be a Twitter focal, a focal who's going to be a Keybase focal, and a focal who's going to be a Telegram focal. And that focal would pretty much keep their eye open during the week and bring to us anything that's urgent. And more importantly, be with us when we do our weekly, bi-weekly updates. One thing Dr. Larry mentioned is that once he posts the flow chart, he's then going to be giving weekly updates. Now, we're not going to get a long, drawn out message. He'll give some very short, concise weekly updates. We don't really have a lot of updates in that short time period, but we do know the importance of making sure you guys are seeing and hearing from us. So we're gonna talk to the Jim then to see, how does the community want us to be more involved? Again, there's two sides to this, right? There's the community side and the client side. We don't want you to feel that we're trying to focus more on the client side, but do understand that we have to focus, quite frankly, more on the client side. But we can do a much better job being present for the community. So we'll talk more about how we do that. And how do you plan to increase XCZ awareness and grow the community? I think I mentioned that a moment ago, right? Is really trying to make sure we're getting the clients and the customers involved. Now, the clients, you can say, for example, the clients are an organization who's procuring our services. The customers are the people who are taking the assessments. We want to get both people more involved, and hopefully they'll have an incentive to make sure that they're using and procuring XCZ as well, once that is in the next form. So I hope that answers those questions. And those are all the questions that were submitted. The one question, how is Damon's health? And you can see he's doing great, right? He's doing great. Dr. David's doing great, and I'm doing great as well. So those are all of the questions we had submitted. Do you guys want to add anything before we close the call?
No, that's it.
Dr. Davis?
No, nothing from me. Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Damon.
Yeah. Okay. So community, we just want to say thank you for sticking with us. We know some of you have been with us since back in 2018, and here we are 4 years later. Thank you for sticking with us. All of us have invested a lot of time and money into this, so we understand the importance of seeing this through. So we hope to see you all again, and we look forward to communicating with you guys better in the communities we have: Twitter, Keybase, and Telegram. Thank you. Take care. And see you next time.